Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear brothers and my dear sisters. So, there are two hadiths that I want to explain in detail, and so you guys can understand, right? Because it's something that's happening nowadays, which people they don't really realize a whole lot. So, I really want to explain it. So, the first hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in a hadith in Sahih Muslim that whoever guides someone to something good will have a reward of that person, without him losing that reward. And whoever guides someone to something bad will of course have a reward of that bad action that he's leading others to. And I'm going to give you guys an example in a bit, right? The second hadith is actually really interesting, right? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that whenever there is a murder that is unjustly, there's an unjust murder. Whenever there's an unjust murder, one of the sons of Adam gets a sin for that. Every time someone, kills someone for no reason, he gets a sin, part of the sin for it. That's really interesting to think about, right? Even though it's it's kind of basic to remember that, well, he started the tradition of killing. So every time unjustly someone kills another person, he's getting part of that because he's the one who started this sin. Now, what does this have to do with what's happening nowadays? So a lot of people, what they do is for example, they watch a video, of a video with music, let's say, right? Now, without thinking twice, right? Because music, to a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's just 5 seconds, it's not a big deal, and so on. It's just a 5-second video, and it's just 5 seconds music. Maybe they see a meme or something and they find it funny, and there's music in the background. Who's gonna edit this to send? So they just send, and wallah, like, who cares, right? Now, as I told you about the hadith, the first hadith, right, that whoever guides someone to something good will have a reward as the one who did it, and so on. And the one who guides someone to something bad will also have a reward as the one who did it, a bad deed, right? So the thing is, my dear brothers and sisters, you need to remember, right? For example, there's a person who posts, who sends, let's say, a meme to another person which has something inappropriate, something that is haram in Islam. Maybe it's something, maybe there's music in it or something haram. Now, this person who sent this video to another person, every time this person, let's say person A sends it to person B, every time person B is watching that video, guess what? We all know what, right? Person A is getting a sin for it. So this is crazy to think about, right? Person A is getting sin every time because he started this and he sent it to another person. Similarly, now if person B, right, the one who person A is the one who sent the video. Now person B, let's say, he sends it to, maybe he watches it and he finds it funny, even though there's music in it, but he doesn't care, so he posts it on his, story or something, And now, let's say 100 people watch his story, right? 100 people, subhanallah. Now, person A is getting a sin for every time, those 100 people that watch it, he's getting part of that sin, right? So, even though we don't think about this so much, right? Because we're like, it's just 5 seconds of music, but every time someone else is watching it because of us, we're getting a sin for that. Similarly, if you post, a picture of someone who you shouldn't be posting, right? You're getting a sin for that. Maybe you're promoting your friend just posted a picture and it's appropriate, and you post it on your story. Every time someone is watching that, they're getting a sin. And worst case scenario, that person, let's say you post a picture of someone who makes music on your story. You post like a post, a person comes, he clicks on it, now he's addicted to his music. You're getting part of that sin for it every time he's listening to songs. Why? Because you started that tradition of promoting those things. So we need to be careful what we are posting, right? Even though you might be like, it's only a few seconds and so on, but even though it's a few seconds, but Like, think about this. One day you're dead, and those songs and whatever you posted on your story and Instagram and all those highlights that you've posted, even when you're dead, think about this, right? This is so crazy to think about. When you're dead, you're getting a sin every time someone is watching that. So my dear brothers and sisters, there's something else I want to tell you, which is, yes, there's a haram aspect of it. So now the beautiful aspect of this is, when there's haram, there's also halal. So instead of posting haram things and getting sins even when you're dead, instead you can post something beneficial, maybe a hadith, maybe a forgotten sunnah, something beneficial. So when you're dead, instead of getting haram for posting music and inappropriate pictures and whatnot, you can get good deeds for people looking at those reminders and benefiting and so on, maybe even practicing them. So the choice is yours, my dear brothers and my dear sisters.